Councilmember Bax? Councilmember Miles? Councilmember Zajac? Council Chairperson Perry?
Here. Mr. Zajac will lead us in the opening exercises this evening.
Lord, today we ask for your calming love in a time of uncertainty, chaos, and turbulence in our state, our country, and in our world. We ask for your guidance as we look to make decisions that affect all that we have sworn to uphold and defend. Direct our thoughts, words, decisions, and actions toward the right path and help us to stay on track. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this evening we have a public hearing relative to the adoption of local law amended section 1327.7 of the zoning ordinance, delaying by 1 year the enforcement of the regulation of student housing in R1 and R2 zoning districts. It's September 3rd. The time is now 6:02, and the meeting is now open. Liz, do we have anybody?
Yes, sir. We have one speaker that signed up, and that would be Jacqueline Pryor. Did I say it right, Miss Jackie?
How y'all doing today? I haven't been in here in a while, so I just want to get a little understanding. So, if we approve for this to be put in place right now, can you tell us what is the delay or why we need to hold off a year? Anyone? Oh, of course. Of course. Okay. Oh, well, my opinion is if you can't tell the public what is the reason, because you know, like I said, I haven't been here a while, but what is the reason? I don't think it's justified. We need to start trying to stick on program and stick on what we say we're going to do. Do you know how many times that we don't do that? Do you know how many times there's extra orders and lines and all this kind of happen? Can we just be kind of accurate and let the people know what's going on? You want to tell us a year later when you need an extension? Well, if I'm the only one, I say no. Thank you.
That is our last public hearing speaker.
Okay, we got the time of 6:04, and the meeting is now over. Okay. Okay, we have no presentations this evening, so we'll open the floor to speakers. You have 3 minutes for the agenda items.
Okay, so our first speaker is John Callan. Excuse me. My apologies.
Hello, how are you doing?
My apologies, I made a mistake here for the good of the community. So, not just yet for you, just yet.
Okay.
Okay, I do apologize. For agenda items, our first speaker is Tanya Barone, agenda items 2 and 3.
Good evening. I'm here to speak on agenda item number 2 and 3 pertaining to the dog shelter in Hyde Park. I see that there are 2 more purchases for the city dog shelter. A dishwasher and a tub package to bathe the animals and a prep cabinet. The cost is about $18,000 for these 3 items. Add that to the $17,000 plus for a washing machine and a dryer. Is a large amount of money, and I want to know, is that money, which I know the answer to, but I'm going to say it for everybody, part of the $4.2 million that was allotted just for construction, and now I'm realizing that's not to outfit the shelter? That is used, these items are being paid for out of the ARPA interest, according to the mayor's memo. I'd like to know, how much interest do we have, and what are we doing with this interest? Shouldn't it be spent other places? Because clearly our city needs things more than a $6,000 dishwasher, almost $20,000 washing machine and dryer. I just don't think that this money is being spent the where it should be spent. $4.2 million, we don't have, like Vincent has always said, a crayon sketch of what's going on in the shelter. Do we have any progress there? When is it going to be done? Who's going to be running it? Is there going to be an RFP for it? Who are we putting into business at this very expensive, elaborate dog shelter in our public park? There's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm sure this is just the beginning of the future purchases that we're going to be making, which are going to add up to several more $100,000 before we're done. It's very disappointing. $4.2 million, they should be eating caviar and having their own private butlers with gold kennels. Just my opinion, but when we drive around our city and we see the blight, the potholes, the dilapidated buildings, the no progress, the crime, I just think if, we could allocate that money to things that we really absolutely need, and anybody that knows me knows that my heart is with animals. That's what brought me here. But I am a sensible, logical person, and I think it's getting way out of control. What do we have for the money that we have allocated already for $4.2 million? I would love a tour of the dog shelter as it stands and the
Thank you,
progress so
Tanya.
that we can feel comfortable with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jacqueline Pryor. What agenda items won't you come?
Sorry, I didn't put all on it.
You pick 2, please.
I usually put all, so I just cover the bases, but I'm just gonna back up a little bit.
Jacqueline,
I'm sorry.
pick 2.
Oh, okay, what did she talk about, the dog park?
Well, yes, Ms. Barone.
Okay,
she spoke on the
dishwasher,
dog park.
3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
2. Pick 2.
fine. Anyway, I'll
Which
pick
2?
one. I just wanna go overall. And it's really not even about the dogs. It's about the other animals. I done seen ducks with their families coming out of, high grass. I done had I don't know if it was a beaver, a mole. I don't know what it was that came in my house, but luckily he knew to get back out real quick, okay, through the door. We got all kinds of animals. It's serious. And I don't even know how he got up on my second porch. It's serious. It's just not about the dogs. Have you seen all the animals on the side of the road, the raccoons and all that kind of stuff that takes 2 or 3 days to be picked up? On Ferry Avenue, Fifth Street, where all the tourists is. So it's not just about the dogs and the cats. We got ducks, and I mean, we talking about the yellow ones. We ain't talking about the ones that's over here in State Park. And I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even have a number to animal control or what to do. I just had to pull off and hope for the best. So it's just not about the dogs, but, yeah, let's have a tour. I'd like to go. Thank you.
That is our last speaker.
The That's it, that was it?
Yes, that's the
okay.
last
Oh,
one.
sorry, okay. All right, Mr. DuBois, do we have any administrative updates this evening?
None this evening.
Okay. We're at the point now for community happenings. Do we have any announcement for community events?
Annual Kids and Kites event is September 13th. Begins at 11 a.m. and that is at Town of Niagara Veterans Memorial Park.
Okay. Anybody else?
Starts at 11. Let's see. Registration is 11 to 1. The event ends at 2. Registration closes at 12:30 in order to be in for the grand prize raffle.
Anything else? Anybody? Okay, we're now at section 4 of the agenda. We've all had the agenda since Saturday morning. And I would like a motion at this time to adopt the agenda as proposed. May I have a motion, please? Motion. Okay, may I have a second? Okay, all right, Brian, okay, all righty. Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, Liz, please call the roll.
Councilmember Archie?
Yes.
Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Miles?
Yes.
Councilmember Zajac,
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry?
Yes,
5 yeas.
5 yeas, the motion carried. We're now at section 5. The minutes were previously distributed to the council from the July 23rd meeting. Does anybody have any corrections for that? If not, then let the minutes be in the record as distributed. Section 6, the clerk's office. Ms. Eden, would you like to review the information?
Yes, sir. So I have a report of licenses issued and collections made in the clerk's office during the month of July 2025. They have been received and filed.
Okay, anybody have any questions or? No. All right, we're now at the legislative items. Legislative item number 1. May I have a motion, please?
To approve the grant of additional CDBG CV funds to Pinnacle Community Services, Inc., as well as authorize the mayor the execution of any documents necessary to effectuate the same, all as more fully outlined in the mayor's recommendation memo dated August 28th, 2025.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Development block grant funds over this past year. Okay, I guess I'll add pretty much.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know that there are such reviews, so I can't answer your question. But in terms of any money that's spent, that's HUD money, that work is under the supervision ultimately of HUD, and so HUD can and does do audits of how the money gets spent. So I can't speak for what HUD does or doesn't do, other than to say that they have a supervisory role. It's ultimately their money, and we're just a conduit for it.
Okay, yeah, I asked that solely because being a former employee of Pinnacle Community Services, during my time there, I had to provide a lot of of information as to, and I'm talking numbers, that had to prove that my position was valid for the CDBG funding. I see them on the hook often for monies, and we're pretty much just sending it through, but we're not, I don't, and we're the last voice that, you know, we're the ones that makes the choice whether they receive the money or not, and I see them more than I even see community missions nowadays. So I think that's the reason why I'm asking, because before the mayor defunded that position for us, I guess for whatever those reasons, that was what I had to do. So I'm wondering, is that same process in play in Pinnacle Community Service at this present time, where they have to provide some type of performance review before we actually vote on how we continuously give of our community development block grant funding?
Are you saying you were subject to a performance review, Council?
Yeah, yes. This was
performance review by who?
No, this was a performance review from the company that they had to submit to the mayor and the administration. This was before he was wondering if I was.
So the performance review that you're referring to, that you have experience, firsthand knowledge of, was your employer doing a performance review of you?
No, the performance review of my actual department that I had to work for, because it had to come to a vote from up here.
So if Pinnacle could obviously do all the performance reviews that it wants to, but I'm not privy to what they're doing right now.
Okay, no, that's what.
If they're doing performance reviews of departments or employees currently, I couldn't say.
Oh, yeah, no, the thing is I only asked you that question to see if they actually provided it to you guys. I don't expect you to actually go and get it or anything like that. My thing is that was a thing that was required of our department for the youth, between the 12 and 24-year-old homeless youth. That's what we took care of. And I had to provide numbers to validate my job, to make sure that it was worth CDBG funds being voted on by this body. And it wasn't this body, because this was before you guys actually came. But my thing is that, before we continue, I guess it's just kind of like trying to see if there's a culture of us reviewing and making sure that every dime that we actually give, whether it's community development block grant funding or whether it's just any type of federal funding or whatever, make sure that, have that same level of, making sure that it's valid and we're not just saying yes because the money is there, if that makes sense.
Well, all I can say is that if there's going to be a review, it would have to be after the money is awarded, so that you would actually
Right.
go and see if the work is done, right?
No, I'm not talking about this. This is, I'm talking about, before we, I'm talking about before we.
About agenda item, see if the work is done, right?
No, I'm not talking about this. This is, I'm talking about, before we, I'm talking about before we.
About agenda item 1.
Right, I'm just talking about money
There should be a final accounting,
Account of
and
it.
just like this is what we said and this is what we did. It should be as simple as asking.
Okay.
It should be.
So
Just
that's something now
Just
I'll request later.
Okay. Any opposition? Okay, Liz, please call the roll.
Councilmember Archie,
yes.
Councilmember Bax,
Yes.
Councilmember Myers,
Yes.
Councilmember Zajac,
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry.
Yes.
5 yeas.
5 yeas, the motion carried. Legislative item number 2. May I have a motion, please?
Yes, for number 2, I move the council vote to approve and authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with the successful RFQ respondent Direct Animal Products, a division of TriStar Metals, Inc., to purchase new health and wellness equipment for the city dog shelter, as more fully outlined in the mayor's recommendation memo dated August 28th, 2025.
May I have a second?
Or just lump them together. How did, I guess, we'll say the city, come to the conclusion that these particular items are what was needed? I guess, is that a?
So the decisions on equipment for the facility are the recommendation of our consultant expert, CPL architects. And just to rewind the tape and remind everybody, it was in July of 2024 that, it was July of 2024 for sure, that the council voted to hire CPL as our expert and consultant on the project based on their experience building dog shelters for other municipalities in upstate New York, but also because they assured us that they were going to be able to complete the project for us and equip it so that it will pass the heightened inspections that are going to be occurring as of January 1st of 2026. So in each of these instances, you've got the two items with the two pieces of equipment in item 2 and the third piece of equipment in agenda item 3. Those were all at the recommendation of CPL.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, opposition?
Yep. Oh, no, you go right ahead. I guess I'm just in the same place as our president. Like, I understand we think that it's free money because it's interest, but I would beg to differ and say that it's not, and that these monies could be used to pull down some of the dilapidated buildings that are catching fire around here. I don't understand us having a municipal dog shelter. I'm not in favor of it being in our park, let alone continuing to pour monies into it when I'm, wondering, like, are there grants or things of that nature that we could try to investigate to see how to equip it, let alone the not being equipped with the $4 million. That's a whole nother thing, I guess. So if my position is definitely to 2 and 3 with the spending of the interest ARPA funds that I believe could be used for another well-to-do cause in our community.
To kind of tag to what Councilman Archie had said, we're looking at $17,607 of ARPA interest. Aside from us taking on a probably $1 million+ a year running costs, a new liability, we have the hardest time enforcing what it is that we have now on a regular basis, which could lead to multiple lawsuits in the event that if these dogs, if they begin to start dumping dogs in that area. After the council majority thought it not robbery to basically rob the disproportionate, marginalized, gentrified, displaced, overlooked, neglected portions of our community of youth and elderly investment, and that's coming from the ARPA funds. Even reconstruction of infrastructure of these spaces where these ARPA funds were actually meant to go. And just take $4.2 million out of those funds to build a dog shelter in the middle of Hyde Park. And now we're sifting through interest of those same funds that we robbed poor communities that are lacking, communities that have been looked over and neglected for decades. We had one opportunity, one job to be able to finally kind of breathe some life back into a portion of the city. I say the 4th District, if you look at the map, you can see exactly where the crime and the poverty is really suffocated. And we could have took those fundings and put it into those spaces to show those portions of our city that we give a crap about their quality of life. And we failed miserably because we felt like we should take 4.2 after it was told to me up here at this dais that we had no more money left. All the money was supposedly spent of the ARPA fund. And then 4.2 million magically appears out of nowhere for us to build a dog shelter. Our local municipalities around us, how come we haven't talked to them? Because none of them are building dog shelters when the SPCA shut down that contract. But we decided to do so. it's not making sense. So therefore, now we're here talking about buying washers, dryers, and spending thousands and it's gonna keep growing. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and again, it's in our park. People don't like to hear me talk about parkland alienation laws. People don't like to hear me talk about the whole purpose of the Hyde family and their investment to build Hyde Park in the first place. It was never meant to be a dog shelter at all. So we just ignore all of these things that really bring value to the city of our city, the second largest park in the state of New York. And we just make very piss poor decisions. So you already know where my head is with this, and I'm gonna pretty much echo those same sentiments. I fought super hard with these ARPA funds and how they've been spent. $8 million on a pole barn at DPW, all of that. So now when we come back and we're talking about, all right, well, we done already, set up, $4.2 million for this. Now we're gonna start messing with the interest, where these, again, we have another opportunity, very much smaller opportunity now. It's not $58 million worth of an opportunity, but whatever interest that we have left, we have an opportunity to do something or right some wrongs, some infrastructure problems, not skimming over the streets, but actually fixing them. And this comes to the table. I'm just asking council to just really, I said this before the last time, before we went on break, look within yourself. Let's get out of the best interest of the mayor and whatever it is that he wants done. And just like sit back. And if you don't live in those areas and you don't use that park, empathize with the rest of us. That's all.
Nope, thank you for the passionate input. We are required to have an animal shelter, and we will either have to rent or we build our own, and I think the decision's already made that we will build our own. So therefore, the next logical step is, the building and then the furnishings. So although I respect what Mr. Miles said, I don't necessarily agree with you 100%. So with that, Liz, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Archie? No. Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Miles?
No.
Councilmember Zajac,
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry.
Yes.
3 yeas, 2 nays.
The motion is carried. Legislative item number 3. May I have a motion, please?
For number 3, I move the council vote to approve and authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with the successful RFQ respondent, B&G Restaurant Equipment and Supplies, to purchase a new commercial dishwasher for the city dog shelter as more fully outlined in the mayor's recommendation memo dated August 28th, 2025.
Is there a second? Okay, I will not restate the motion unless the members request it. Is there any information requests? Okay, opposition?
Same argument. Same argument.
Well, we're all going to remember how everybody voted.
Okay. Liz, please call the roll.
Councilmember Archie?
No.
Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Miles?
No.
Councilmember Zajac,
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry.
Yes.
3 yeas, 2 nays.
Motion is carried. Item number 4, do I have a motion?
I move the council vote to approve the acceptance of 2026 Governor's Traffic Safety Committee Grant and Contract Award, effective October 1st, 2025, which will allow the NFPD to participate in a statewide police traffic services program geared toward reducing dangerous driving behaviors, and authorize the mayor or his designee to execute any documents necessary to implement the same, as more fully outlined in the mayor's recommendation memo dated August 28th, 2025.
Second?
Second.
Okay, any opposition? Oh, I'm sorry, information request. Thank you.
So this is a small amount of money, but we know it can't be for personnel, so I would assume this is extra equipment for the roads, cars.
I don't see in the mayor's memo there's any reference to it being limited to either equipment or personnel. I don't think it's restricted in that way.
Just to the traffic division.
To the traffic, yeah.
Very good.
Now, further seatbelt mobilization, is this basically to target residents who aren't wearing their seatbelts?
That's certainly part of it. The other category is just a general catch-all regular police traffic services enforcement. But the goal of both of those programs is to improve safety on the roads. So it could be anything from enforcing the helmet law for motorcyclists who don't wear motorcycles. It's not just seat belts. It could be for speeders, people who are going through red lights, etc.
I've had a conversation with the mayor this week about that specific item, and he had explained that some of this is going to go toward education in the schools, training. There may be enough money to have a little bit of in there for some checks, like they just patrol checks to see people are wearing their seat belts. In the largest scheme of things, it's not a great amount of money for them to do a lot of stuff with, but it's just something to help out. So. Any other information requests? Okay, opposition? Okay, let's call the roll, please.
Councilmember Archie?
Yes.
Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Myers?
I know it's a small amount of money. I just want to make sure that we're not being, for lack of a better term, narrow-minded as to how we generate revenue. So I'm hoping that it's not a, idea to let's go catch some citizens without seatbelts so we can give them tickets or whatever the case is. Because of course it's always on the residents, garbage fees, parking, meters and everything else. I'm just praying that this is more towards education, if that's what it's saying, instead of, hey, let's, try to catch some of our citizens who are already strapped for cash in a city that doesn't have good paying jobs to begin with. So, so if that's the case, if it is that, then yes.
Councilmember Zajac? Yes. Council Chairperson Perry?
Yes.
5 yeas.
5 yeas, the motion's adopted. Okay, item number 5. Do I have a motion?
I move the council vote to approve a proposed settlement of $1,000 to fully resolve the property damage claim of Diane Lynn McNamara and Rockney Nasoy, as more fully outlined in the Acton Corporation Council's recommendation memo dated August 28th, 2025.
Is there a second? Okay, any information requests? Any opposition? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Archie?
Yes.
Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Myers?
And that's why we keep talking about trees and making sure, like, it was crazy that we were talking about even trying to remove a forestry position when we need trees taken down. So let's let's revise that. Let's think about that when we're up here voting. And when people speak about those different things, because we're gonna have more of these, I'm sure. Actually, that the next one is another tree that fell on another piece of property. So guess what? If we want more lawsuits and we want us to vote for people to continuously get paid because our ash trees that we're not taking down in a quick enough time, then let's make sure we need to start putting more money into the DPW forestry. And I don't work for them. I don't have a dog in the fight. I have nothing from them. But at the end of the day, I know the services that they provide. But of course, for this, I vote yes.
Councilmember Zajac?
Yes.
5 yeas. Chair, Councilmember, yeah, we need the chairman.
Yes, okay.
Council Chairperson Perry?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. 5 yeas.
5 yeas, the motion's carried. Do I have a motion for item number 6?
For number 6, I move the council vote to approve a proposed settlement of $3,500 to fully resolve the property damage claim of Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company as subrogee of Christine M. Dobraz as more fully outlined in the Acting Corporation Council's recommendation memo dated August 28th, 2025.
And may I have a second, please? Okay, any information requests?
Just one. I'm gonna make an assumption of what I think. So these settlements are paid from our insurance, correct? Right?
We do have an insurance policy and an insurance company, but our deductible is fairly high. So on one policy, our deductible is $750,000. On the other, it's $1 million. What that means is, just example A, if there's any payment on that first policy, unless it's over $750,000, that's deductible, meaning that the city pays that out of its risk retention fund. We have a risk fund. It's almost like before December of 2020 when the city was what we call self-insured. We had a self-insured retention. It's almost the same situation given the high deductibles. So this particular settlement will be paid out of the city's funds for risk, like claims, whether it's personal injury, property damage, etc.
Just for people to know where it's coming from, so that's all. All right.
Okay, any opposition? Okay, Liz, please call the roll.
Councilmember Archie?
Yes.
Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Miles?
Yes.
Councilmember Zajac?
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry?
Yes.
5 yeas.
5 yeas, the motion's carried. Do I have a motion for item number 7?
Yes, for number 7, I move the council vote to approve resolution relative to the appointment of Commissioner of Deeds in the city of Niagara Falls, New York.
And may I have a second, please? Okay, any information requests? Okay, any opposition? Liz?
Councilmember Archie?
Yes.
Councilmember Bax?
Yes.
Councilmember Miles? Yes. Councilmember Zajac?
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry?
Yes.
5 yeas.
5 yeas, the motion's adopted. Do I have a motion for item number 8?
I move the council vote to approve resolution relative to the adoption of a local law amending section 1327.7 of the zoning ordinance to delay by 1 year the enforcement of the regulation of student housing in R1 and R2 zoning districts.
May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any information requests? Up, go ahead.
Just for the comments that we received, just talk about the 1 year enforcement and what that actually means, the delay.
So, as last amended, this particular zoning ordinance was planned to go into effect for enforcement purposes on June 1 of 2026. As you can see from the Director of Planning's Exhibit A, his memo to the council dated July 16th, he's recommending changing that by 1 year, delaying the enforcement by 1 year so that it's enforceable on June 1 of 2027. And he outlines the reason for that. Principally what he says is that the project to build student housing on Main Street, it's still in the planning phase. There have been some delays, but it is moving forward. And it's his expectation that a 1 year delay of the enforcement will give that project an opportunity to be completed and therefore give students an alternate location to move to before the city starts strictly enforcing the rule against college houses or student housing in R1 and R2 districts throughout the city.
Which means students can still reside in the DeVoe space currently, under the current.
Yes, you're right. So
right?
with the additional 1 year, you are correct that students would be able to continue to rent homes in any R1, R2 district lawfully. And then if this amendment is approved, the enforcement date.
Niagara University. I asked, what is their financial contribution towards any housing being built in the city of Niagara Falls for the students? Because this is for their students, and it's kind of like a revolving door, because these students are only going to be here for what, 2 to 4 years. So it's one of those things where, okay, if we want to take a part of our real estate that's in a part of our, a very prime piece of real estate on our main street and turn it into something that is going to assist your programming, your private business that has nothing to do with the city of Niagara Falls, I'd like to see where your money's going. Put your money where your mouth is. Tell me, tell us, tell the body up here, actually, how much are you willing to put on the table? And is this going to be something that's going to be on the backs of the residents? Another thing, you know. So, so with that being said, I'm really, until that answer is given, I'm really not for it. Because I don't feel like, you know, I feel like it's something that's just being kind of like pushed. Now, I do understand quality of life issues, and I've talked to a lot of people. I actually in DeVoe, and a lot of them said that they don't have, it's a specific portion of the DeVoe area that deals with the college housing, but it's a heavy portion that says that it's not as big of an issue, and it's not as, you know, big as it's being made in this council chamber. So with that being said, before we start moving forward to put more money into something that doesn't really directly affect us personally, as a whole, I like to see what investment that, you know, Niagara University is willing to put on the table with our city. If we're going to do that, let's kind of collaborate together. I think that makes more sense, and I think it would be more of, it would strengthen the relationship between Niagara University and Niagara Falls residents instead of just those powers that be that have this personal connection with the leadership in Niagara University. So with that being the case, I asked this question a while ago, actually, a couple of Niagara universities. What's that? No, we don't. No, this is something that we're going to have to pay. We're going to, and guess what? When college students aren't in those buildings, guess what? No, we're not getting any rent. We're not getting any money. So therefore, who's going to kind of cover these losses that we're going to get? You can shake your head all day, but I know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, when they're out of school, when they're out of school and there is no school in session in between semesters, when they go home to their families, there's not going to be anyone in those buildings. So therefore, at the end of the day, if we're going to do it, let's find out what investment, because we're doing this for Niagara University. I talked to the Niagara University students. You know what they say? The cost of living, the cost of their dorms is extreme. That's why they have to rent the way they do in these other homes. So Niagara University isn't making it all that great and all that easy for us to, for students to freely live there, at a comfortable rate. So they're paying astronomical rates. So at the end of the day, if we're doing something that's going to relieve a burden off of Niagara University, because I'm not going to sit here and allow people to just because at the end of the day, this is still our community. They're going to go home to their families when they graduate and all of that. Niagara University is not going to care nothing about what goes on Main Street. And we already have, and we're looking at a dilapidated horror story of a Main Street anyway. Did you walk and just look? Just go outside and look right until you left. So at the end of the day, before we go on and say, hey, absolutely, buddy, we're going to build this building and we're going to house your students for you because I know there's a problem and you guys are, how much money are you going to put on the table? How much money is Niagara University going to put down for us as far as an investment? Because that's an investment for them as well. So that's my opposition.
This resolution is to delay enforcement of the housing regulations. It has nothing to do with the housing itself or the proposal to do it.
So,
it is strictly to delay. It is strictly to delay the enforcement. It has nothing to do with anything else but delaying the enforcement. So, what the?
This right here keeps things actually the way that they are. That's what this does. It keeps it. So the push to move students away was like, hurry up. What does Vince say? Hurry up,
Hurry up and wait,
whatever he said.
something like
Right? Hurry up and wait. So this stops that for 2 years. That's what this is doing.
Well, it's an extra year.
This is leaving the students exactly where they are right now to wait and see whatever plan that they have that develops. I talked about the rest of it later, but all this does, it says we're not bothering with students, nobody's getting evicted, nobody's getting pushed out of their space. That's what this means.
Hold on, but I just want to kind of actually repeat what our attorney just said.
We've already heard that argument.
No, it's not an argument.
It's not
an argument. It's a question. It's pretty much. I'm going to repeat what he said. And he said that if we pass this tonight, it gives it an additional year, but it allows the building of, the student housing. He literally just said it. So my thing is
you're going way off track, Mr.
No,
Miles.
I'm actually talking the same thing that you just said.
Our time has expired.
Listen,
you only get 5 minutes. You only get 5 minutes to put your point out, and then there's another 5 minutes for rebuttal. So our time is up. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Archie?
yes.
Councilmember Banks?
Yes.
Councilmember Miles?
No.
Councilmember Zajac,
Yes.
Council Chairperson Perry?
Yes.
4 yeas, 1 nay.
The yeas have it, the motion is adopted. Okay. Okay, we're now at the portion for the public speakers. We will, you have a list?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so our first speaker is now Mr. John Kalin. Thank you for your patience, sir.
Good evening. My name's John Callen. I live at 11 C Street. I am here with my wife Beverly, and I was also going to come with my 2 neighbors who unfortunately got tied up at work and couldn't make it. I am here to talk about the property at 10 and 12 C Street. This property was caught on fire and was demolished. Now it's an empty lot. The grass, weeds, or whatever that is growing there has not been cut all year. My wife has submitted 2 complaints on the 311 site, and nothing was done. This is something a resident of Niagara Falls should not have to come to the city council meeting and ask for the grass to be cut or whatever it is there. I watched the lady that delivers the mail have to walk on the street because the sidewalk was so overgrown. The overgrown lot has become an eyesore, a nest for rats, skunks, and whatever other creature is there. I feel sorry for the people with allergies. When it gets windy, I am sure they are sneezing, blowing their nose, and not only, in some cases, have trouble breathing. Also, I'm sure this is not the only overgrown property in the city. So I'm not only speaking for the property in my neighborhood, I'm speaking for the neighborhoods that have the same problem. Now, how does the city have these big plans that are being talked about and they can't even take care of the small things? So I am asking the city to take care of the small things before putting the effort on a bigger picture. Make sure the city looks good so the bigger picture can happen. If there is an alternate way that this can be taken care of, just let me know. I will get my neighbors to cut the lawn and help out. I'll turn it into a park. I don't care, but things like this should not happen. Thank you for listening, and I hope you do more than just listen.
Our next speaker is Tanya Barone.
I don't even know where to begin. Every meeting, I'm just disgusted, and that's why I'm running for city council, because I'm that aggravated. But in the meantime, I'm still a resident, and I still pay taxes, and I still work and live here, and I'm appalled. I want to know, when did we start letting people build structures without permits? Yes, that's happening. Right around the corner from me, a garage, a pole barn was built. It's out of code. I met with the mayor yesterday with a group of residents. I'm disgusted. I have to gain my composure. Where are we with the progress of hiring a full-time city controller? We have a part-time per diem controller right now with our finances. It's just unacceptable. We have 2 people in code enforcement. We have a city that's falling to the wayside as we speak. All of our departments are shorthanded. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work here. I'm feeling like this is not going to get any better. I don't care who runs for city council or who fills these positions. We are in a bad way here. All right, so 4 stumps, $2,000 my neighbor had to almost have to shell out. He's over 70 years old, had to grind them down himself because those trees sat. The city cut them down halfway. They started growing trees again. He finally got them cut down. They didn't grind them down. On a beautiful property, he pays a lot of money to live there, and it's disgusting. Now, I put a post up, all these people around here saying the same thing. Stumps this high, just left, like, what are we doing? We pay for this. Lack of services, terrible. Okay, trees. We just approved recently $20,000 for 4 trees to be cut down in the city by a private company. I'm going to tell you right now, we need to investigate that and whose trees those were, because I know whose they were. Nepotism, friends and family discounts, friends and family plan. I want to know why we're giving people pay raises and promotions that are soon to be retiring this year so they can get a higher pension. I know of 2 people, and I'm not going to name names, but we surely know who they are, that receive pay rates. We're paying for that. And all they have to do is have that rate of pay for 6 months. I have people coming up to tell me about these things. And unfortunately, these people are coming out of the woodwork. They know inside information. I'm not happy, and we should all be upset about that. Now, Tom's wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever you want to call her, sits here with the dean of students from NU, gets up here. There is some stuff going on here. It's criminal.
Thank you.
Criminal. Needs a full investigation, a full audit.
Thank you, Tom. Our next speaker is Jacqueline Pryor.
All right. Okay, a couple of things. For the good of the people, can anybody explain why is there 8 traffic lights at Highland and Center Avenue? It's 8 systems. I don't understand it. I don't see it nowhere else in the city. Can you tell me what's in those cameras? Can you tell me the reason it's why there and what program it's under? 1, 2, police officer. I had 2 police officers come to my house, the next door neighbor called, and rightly so, and whoever those 2 officers were, fabulous. Did a great job. I told him I was going to mention them. Okay, and then, let me see. Oh, okay, I'm from First Presbyterian Church, down here on First Street or whatever, the big old building, the church. And you got the nest on one side, you got the park that's supposed to be built on the other side. You got all kinds of things going around them supposed to be, but ain't. You don't have the planners. You don't have the workers. Nothing is developed. Y'all eat up land and hold it. And then I hear at a meeting at the church that now they want to have a 10-story hotel built where the park used to be or was going to be, and delegated money. But we can't get a park over here on North Avenue, Beach Avenue, even though I'm not particularly keen with the design. But we can't even get that. Are you kidding me? Something that you're going to tear down and you ain't even put up, and now you got another project to put a 10-story building. As far as I am being a member, I say no. We need our church open like it is. Okay? Okay. Another thing. Somebody mentioned these fires. Yeah, it's a whole lot that we need to investigate. I haven't had time to full act it, but really, even 516 Ferry, who had a fire, they all of a sudden is on a list of the bundle that they let the lady purchase. But that was a 4 apartment building, nice brick. How did it get on that list that quick? Okay. what I'm saying to you all, okay, also know that it's been a 40% in Canadian and visitors, okay? I told y'all about 2 years ago, invest in the community. Stop thinking of these people in Airbnbs and people coming and stuff like that, because now we got a problem. We got a problem we can't solve, a problem that's gonna be for years on end. And Ms. Baggs, I know you was gonna work with a company in Canada, but can you tell us the statistics on that? Thank you.
Thank you. That is the last speaker for the evening.
Members, welcome back. The meeting's adjourned.
7:03.